You're listening to the Astromommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the Astromommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Moon trine Jupiter and a 3-card spread for the day after the solar eclipse, a day of recovery, hope, and maintenance. Daily horoscope check-in for Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. Good morning, friends. Were you able to watch the solar eclipse online yesterday? I was able to watch the live stream while finishing up the horoscopes. It looked amazing, and I can't wait until the time in my life when I can become an eclipse chaser and travel the world viewing eclipses. What about you? Do you have dreams of becoming an eclipse chaser? Anyway, so for today's post, I am going to just make the audio podcast of the transits and what is going on. Yesterday and the day before combined, I wrote for 16 hours and worked on editing and all of the things to create the audio and the video and whatnot. And it was just a lot. So today we're going to take a little bit of a break from doing all of that stuff. And we're just going to go through the transits, what's going on today. There's not a whole lot that's perfecting. So it should be a rather quick horoscope. And then for fun, I thought it would be nice to do a 3-card spread about what our weaknesses are, what our strengths are, and the advice moving forward after the eclipse. So I've got my coffee. Maybe you want to get yourself a nice hot beverage, and let's get into the astrology. All times are in Eastern time unless I mention a different time. So today we have the sun still in Libra, and he's going to hit that 11th degree of Libra. The moon is going to stay in Libra all day, and she is moving through the Via Combusta, which is the 15 degrees of Libra to 15 degrees of Scorpio range of the sky, which is said to be a perilous place for the moon. Ancient astrologers thought that it was a kind of testy, challenging spot for the moon as she passed over this portion of the sky, which actually used to be passing over the Milky Way, like the rift that went through the sky. Now it has shifted a little bit and it's more in Sagittarius. So early in the morning or late last night, the moon made a square to Mars, and that could have come up last night. You could have felt this energy. I definitely did. I definitely felt irritable. I felt impatient, and I knew that this was happening, so I expected that to happen. I was in the middle of still putting together short videos for TikTok of the horoscopes for the solar eclipse, and I was having a lot of trouble with my technology, and the videos just taking up too much space on my phone. So that was creating a lot of frustration that I was feeling. But anyway, you could have felt frustrated or impatient or angry about things. When the moon squares Mars, we always have to check ourselves, We always come up face to face with those kinds of emotions, anger, frustration, impatience. And we really have to avoid overreacting to things and lashing out and taking out our emotions on people. So it's always a good time to take deep breaths, count to 10. Remember that emotions and irritability will be high, and do our best to be patient with ourselves and others. So this energy, not only is it affecting, could it have affected you last night like I was feeling, but it could also affect the whole day. But also because this is part of the signature of the solar eclipse that we experienced yesterday, which does last for the whole 6 months, this type of energy could be kind of permeating the next 6 months. And with Mars in Cancer, he's slowing down because he's going to be going retrograde just in the first few degrees of Leo in December, and then he's going to retrograde back into Cancer. We're actually going to be entering the shadow period this week. I believe when he hits 17 degrees or so, we're going to be entering that shadow period of the Mars retrograde. Now, Mars retrogrades approximately once every 2 years. So we're going through these challenges with Mars in Cancer in his fall, which I really feel like is very symbolic of what's been going on with the hurricane and people who unfortunately are experiencing the aftermath of this Hurricane Helene. and it's just dealing with losing your home or having things destroyed around your home or to your home or having all the streets and roads. I was just reading rather, an article about the destruction that's happened in the southwestern part of my state, North Carolina, and just felt so much heartache for the people who are experiencing this, having their homes washed away. All of the roads have trees down and mudslides and just lots of destruction, and they're just impassable, which makes all of the efforts for FEMA and the state to get to them, really, really hard. So things are taking a long time aid is taking a long time to get to them. But we do have a transit coming up today in the afternoon that actually shows a lot of good help and aid coming to people. So this makes me feel very hopeful for the people who are in the path of destruction from this hurricane, that they're going to start to actually see some aid and help and support coming in later today. So that is, the moon will be making a trine to Jupiter in Gemini this afternoon. That's going to perfect at 1:40 p.m. And that is a really awesome transit, especially for the hurricane victims who are dealing with so much destruction and so much loss and pain going on with what they're dealing with. So that is really beautiful, and that shows that there will be help, there will be aid, and there will be blessings that come their way. So that's really awesome. In terms of everyone else who's not dealing with hurricane damage, this is a really great transit. That means that everybody will be, getting along, and it really tempers the moon square Mars energy of feeling frustrated and impatient and angry about things. And it really helps everybody feel better, more hopeful, more optimistic, courageous, and uh, full of, positive, good, hopeful energy. So I really love to see the moon trine Jupiter. It's one of my favorite aspects that happens every month. So I'm very hopeful that this is going to lighten the mood today and really kind of pick our spirits back up, so that we know, that so that we can really feel like we can get through these challenges, whatever it is that we are facing. So that's really wonderful. Then the moon will oppose Chiron in Aries retrograde shortly after the trine. So this is, coming up face to face with our vulnerabilities, our wounds, our hurt feelings, things that we're dealing with. But because we have that trine that's happening with Jupiter basically around the same time, the trine to Jupiter happens at 1:40 p.m. Eastern time, and then the opposition to Chiron happens just about a little less than an hour later at 2:32 p.m. So this is, it's showing us, okay, there's hope, there's aid, there's blessings coming in, there's good things, there's positivity, and there's optimism for the future. But we still have decisions to make about what's going on right now in the day to day. These things, these challenges that we're facing, these places where we feel victimized within ourselves, we have to make those decisions about how we're going to react to that. Are we going to go the moon square Mars route and be angry, frustrated, impatient with it all? Or we're going to go the moon trine Jupiter route and have hope, compassion, and optimism going forward. So it's really a kind of a crossroads that we're coming to emotionally, where we're going to have to decide how we're going to react to things. So that's coming up this afternoon. And the very last transit that we have that's perfecting today is tonight at 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Venus in Scorpio will be making a sesquiquadrate to Neptune in Pisces retrograde. And this really feels, or this could feel to some people, as sort of not being able to see the future, not being able to see what is happening, not having the ability to communicate with people or, connect with people. And also on a psychic level, just feeling like things are happening, but we can't see them happening. So we're just having a lot of uncertainty. What I feel like would be a really good idea with that kind of energy happening later tonight is, how in our physical lives, what is going on in our physical lives mimics kind of what's going on in our spiritual or mental space, right? So I really feel like with this Venus sesquiquadrate Neptune, one of the best things that we can do is clean and clear away clutter in our physical environment. And what that will do is help us in our mental landscape, in our spiritual landscape, feel clearer and be able to see the path forward more clearly. So that is sort of my prescription for the day for dealing with that type of energy. Do things on a physical level that will then manifest mentally and spiritually for you. So clear away clutter, do some cleaning, do some gardening, do whatever it is that helps you kind of get that clarity. Clean your bedroom, make your bed. It's always nice when our bedrooms are nice and clear and clean, and we feel that. We feel that in our mental landscapes. We feel that clarity and cleanliness that kind of helps us see into the future and see what is going on and be able to actually handle things as they come up because we have that mental capacity to do so. Another way to handle this energy of the Venus sesquiquadrate Neptune is to do artistic activities. Whenever we have sort of a hard aspect going on with Neptune, and the sesquiquadrate is like a square and a semi-square put together, doing artistic activities can really help us work through that energy. So singing, making music, dancing, painting, drawing, any sort of, even meditating, any sort of artistic activity that kind of harnesses that Neptunian water energy and helps it start to flow again. Because the squares and the sesquiquadrates and the semi-squares and everything, those represent blocks and hurdles and barriers and everything that we have to rise up and move over and or take action to push forward and make things happen. So with that energy, one of the ways that we can move it is by doing artistic, creative activities. So this could be as simple as listening to music, just to kind of allow yourself to surrender to the flow of that artistic expression. All right, now let's go on to the tarot card. I decided that I wanted to do a 3-card spread for today. I wanted to pull a card for our strengths, a card for our weaknesses, and an advice card. So what I pulled for our strengths was the Wheel of Fortune upright. The Wheel of Fortune represents things going up, things going down, things going round and round. You know, the cycles of the world continue to go on no matter what's happening in our personal lives. The Wheel of Fortune also represents times of taking risks. It also represents luck and fate, destiny, change, all of these kinds of things happening. And as our strengths, I think that one of the things that this card represents is that our strength actually lies in our ability to ride the waves of fate and destiny and change that are happening right now and adjust to them. Just like a surfer riding the waves in the ocean, they're adjusting to the current and adjusting to the height of the wave and adjusting to the wind and all that kind of stuff. So our strength is being able to adjust to what is happening right now and not fall off the surfboard, not fall off the Wheel of Fortune. Now, our weakness card that I got was the Queen of Cups reversed. So the Queen of Cups in the upright position represents somebody who is emotionally stable. They're able to set their own boundaries and hold space for others who are feeling emotions and also react to things in an emotionally mature way. In the reverse position, this really represents that our weakness may be about feeling out of control emotionally. We may feel emotionally unstable right now. There could be a lot of things going on that are tugging at our heartstrings, and we could feel a lot of emotions and feel like we have a lot to process, and it could be hard to keep it together. I definitely see that, and I said this in yesterday's horoscope about the deep dive about the solar eclipse, that with the solar eclipse square Mars in Cancer in his fall, a big part of what we're going to be dealing with over the next 6 months is keeping it together emotionally and not freaking out. So, as our weakness card, the Queen of Cups reversed shows that keeping it together emotionally is our weakness. We could be feeling washed out or like our boundaries have been breached in some way. And this can be very, very disorienting. And we could be having a hard time processing these emotions. So, the struggle is to stay in control of our emotions. And with, all of the things going on with Venus sesquiquadrate Neptune, and this eclipse energy is so wild and so uncertain, we could feel very unsure of our future. The other thing about the Queen of Cups is that she's very, very intuitive. So in the reverse position, we don't know if we can trust our intuition. Things are foggy, things are unclear. We're not having a clear vision intuitively of what's going on. So there's feelings of block there. The weakness is staying in control of our emotions, keeping it together, and trusting our intuition. So we feel these things could be challenging right now. The advice card that I got was the Two of Pentacles. Now, this card is about juggling our priorities, juggling the hats that we wear. And the Two of Pentacles shows that you're actually doing a very good job of maintaining things in your life right now. So, what that means as our advice is that we need to keep going. We need to keep juggling our priorities. We need to keep balancing the bank account. We need to keep going to work. We need to keep paying the bills. We need to keep sweeping the floor. We need to keep tending to the children and keep washing the linens and all the things that we have to do to keep our life going. We need to keep those things going, and that will actually help us feel in control of what is going on. If we have control over our environment by continuing to maintain the things that we do have control over, like washing the dishes and sweeping the floor and going to work and paying the bills and all those things, then we can feel like we have more emotional control and we have more space to react and respond to all of these emotional stimuli that's going on with all of this up and down activity that's happening in the world and all of this topsy-turvy stuff that's going on with the Wheel of Fortune card. So what we can do right now during all of this transition is just maintain and manage everything as best we can. Now we're coming up on Pluto is going to be stationing direct here in October. We've got Jupiter, which is going to be stationing retrograde on October 9th. So we have some transitions coming, and we have lots of, once Pluto transitions and starts going direct, then he'll be moving back towards that 0 degree of Aquarius, and he's going to be entering Aquarius for the final and last time and fully into Aquarius on November 20th. So we only have this month and next month to really finish processing out all of the Pluto and Capricorn stuff. This is the last time that we have to do it. We're going through it now. So we've got a lot of transitions happening during the last couple months of this year. New things are beginning next year. We have a lot of planets ingressing into new signs. A lot of change is happening next year, and we're getting to that go time place where things are moving forward. So I hope that this has been helpful. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Please leave me a comment. Until tomorrow, Astro Mommy. Thank you for listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources will be in the show notes of the newsletter, and today's cards were pulled from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, which is available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the Astronomy newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the Astronomy newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know a secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.